Hey guys, what's up? This is Brandon, professional author of novels, manga, and webtoon comics.
Wow.
Today I'm going to be answering a big question that happens to me a lot on social media, which is manga that is created outside of Japan still considered to be manga? Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of such a big question, I want you guys to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you're into mangaka, webtoon creator, or author type content, or even anime content as well. Alright, let's get into the video. Manga is the term that everyone uses to describe Japanese comic, and there's a certain format and spirit that goes into manga. So from a format perspective, it's right to left, top to bottom, usually black and white with grayscale coloring. That's the major difference between Western comics and manga, which is that Western comics typically reads the complete opposite direction of Japanese manga, and it's also usually colored. The physical sizing of printed manga volumes is also quite different because manga volumes are a lot smaller compared to their Western comics, which typically sell issue by issue, so like 25-page issues, and then they compile them into these gigantic graphic novels that are really tall and long. Those trade paperbacks, man, they're giant. So what happens when a foreigner that doesn't live in Japan makes a project that is in a manga format? Is that considered to be manga? Well, let's say that it's published in Japan already. Then it's pretty obvious that the answer is yes, it's manga. Mangaka like 𝐏𝐻𝐻, who created Dr. Stone and Sunken Rock, have been publishing in Japan for decades now. And their work is very highly regarded in the manga industry. Like if I told you that 𝐏𝐻𝐻 was Korean and he was behind Dr. Stone and Sunken Rock, you wouldn't care that he was Korean, right? So that doesn't matter. Now, what about a creator that is not from Japan and actually their work was originally published outside of Japan? Is their work considered manga? So here I'm going to be talking a little bit about Tony Valente, who is the mangaka behind the series Radiant, which is a French Manfra series. And Manfra is basically just French comics that derive large inspiration from manga, to the point where you basically can't tell the difference between Manfra and manga. And actually, fun fact, France is one of the leading international countries that is consuming manga and comics at just a crazy rate. I thought that was a fun fact because I never would have guessed that. So Radiant was eventually, got picked up, was super popular, and was distributed in Japan. And it's considered to be manga. It's considered to be manga, and it even has its own Japanese anime. But it was created originally in France. So here's a situation where a foreigner created a manga series that was published in France and now is in Japan and is considered to be manga. Cool. So I kind of answered the question here, which is, can manga that's created outside of Japan be considered manga? The answer is yes. If the format of the project is created in a way where it can live on the same shelf as a manga series and no one would bat an eye, why would you not call it manga? Right? Like if a manga publisher looked at your manga project and said, hey, this is something that we could take, then why wouldn't you just call it manga at that point? In my opinion, manga is no longer exclusively tied to Japan. They've actually opened doors internationally to creators because a lot of manga companies are looking for international perspectives. Even for the anime market, the international market for anime is larger internationally than it is domestically, which means that more people are consuming anime content around the world than in Japan, which is just crazy. This happened during COVID though. And Japan realizes this, right? They're looking to start building a foothold around the world. And that starts with, getting new creators that are from different countries outside of just Japan. So there's a lot of international manga contests that are starting to rise up, like Shonen Jump Tezuka 100, which I entered, was it 2 years ago? There's also the Kyoto International Manga Competition that happened this year. We got a finalist award, that was pretty exciting. Monthly Xenon has a silent manga audition, which if you're interested in silent manga, they have a contest every 6 or so months. I think it's 6 months. And that's a good chance for anyone to break into the manga industry. And these are competitions that are hosted by Japanese manga companies that are exclusive for international creators. So Japanese mangaka can't even compete, and they're calling it manga. So if the manga industry and manga professionals are calling international works manga, then why are we as international individuals trying to gatekeep that? Why are we saying that if an American creates a manga series, it's considered to be a Western comic and not manga? That makes no sense to me, because if an American created a manga series, a manga project, and they're in the US, their work would not be published by anyone that is a Western comic publisher, because it's not the correct format. Like DC Comics, Marvel Comics, they're not going to pick this up. It's not the right audience, not the right format. You're not going to see a series like I Was Reborn as a toilet in a dungeon on the same shelves as Batman and Superman. Like, that's just not how it's going to work, right? That type of series would be on the shelf next to Attack on Titan for some reason. You know, the manga projects that are created in, you know, wherever internationally can only be accepted by manga publishers, because that's the format. And so I really think that, you know, it's considered to be manga. It is manga. Maybe that's not even negotiable at this point. It's manga. So if you see someone online who's questioning your project, questioning someone else's project, and they're an international manga creator, and they're questioning the authenticity of that project and whether or not it is the medium, you can just show them this video. You can also tell them that it's almost 2022. You know, manga is an international medium now. We don't have to gatekeep this anymore, guys. Come on, let's be better. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and comment what kind of content you'd like to see from me, or if you have any questions about manga, anime, writing, anything. Now I can make a video about it. And make sure to subscribe, because there's gonna be a lot more content. I'm working with new editors to hopefully bring a better, higher quality of content, because I don't have time to edit anymore myself because I'm too busy writing. We're aiming for weekly uploads in 2022, so we'll see how that goes. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.